At the very beginning of the story, we're told that a warrior group known as the Power Rangers was sent to Earth with one mission: to protect a set of incredibly powerful objects called the Zeo Crystals. But one of their own, the Green Ranger, named Rita, betrayed the group. She wanted the power of the crystal all for herself. One by one, the Rangers fell. But Zordon, the Red Ranger, made one final desperate move. He used his own power to hide the Zeo Crystal deep within the Earth, so that future Guardians could one day find it. Seconds later, Rita stood before her former ally and demanded to know where the crystal was. But Zordon looked her in the eye and said, "It's too late." He ordered his robotic assistant, Alpha 5, to drop a massive meteor strike on the planet. That catastrophic impact shattered Rita's staff and sent her plunging into the depths of the ocean. And just like that, Zordon was gone. The dinosaurs that once roamed the Earth were gone, but the Zeo Crystal remained safely buried for millions of years. Now the story jumps to the present day. A teenager named Jason Scott is pulling off a prank at his high school with a buddy. He releases a live bull inside the locker room. But it doesn't take long for the police to show up. They spot Jason making a getaway in his father's truck. He tries to outrun them, swerves, and crashes into another car. Thankfully, he walks away without serious injury. But the consequences are severe. He's placed under house arrest and handed a full year of detention. The very next day at school, he runs into Kimberly, a cheerleader he's clearly got a thing for. And that's also where we meet Billy, a pretty sharp kid who's being roughed up by a bully named Cole. Jason steps in and tells Cole, "You want to fight someone? Fight me." When Cole swings, Jason dodges it effortlessly and lands a clean slap right across his face. He warns Cole to leave Billy alone. Both Billy and Kimberly are seriously impressed. After class, Billy catches up with Jason and thanks him. He asks if Jason wants to hang out. Jason holds up his electronic ankle bracelet courtesy of the police and says he can't go anywhere. Billy grins and says, "Let's make a deal. I can disable that bracelet. All you have to do is drive me out to the mines outside of town. In return, you can keep my car for the whole night." Jason agrees. They swing by Billy's house, where Billy reprograms the bracelet within seconds. Now Jason is free, and true to his word, he drives Billy out to the mines. Once they're inside, Billy asks for a little help. But Jason says, "Look man, I held up my end. I'm taking the car." But as he starts walking away, something nags at him. He turns back. He can give the guy a hand. That's when he spots Kimberly leaping off a cliff into the river below. When she doesn't come up for a while, Jason panics and sprints toward the water. Kimberly surfaces just in time, surprised to find him standing there. Meanwhile, deep inside the mine, Billy has planted a small explosive. The moment it goes off, the walls start caving in. Jason and Kimberly hear the blast and rush toward it. They find Billy, shaken but alive. A little while later, Trini and Zach, who happen to be passing by, come to investigate the noise. All 5 of them gather around a massive rock formation embedded with 5 coins, each glowing in a different color. Zach grabs Billy's hammer and prees the coins loose. Before they can make sense of what they're holding, the sound of police sirens cuts through the air. Jason shouts for everyone to get to the car. Billy floors it. They're flying down the road when they spot a train crossing ahead. Jason says if they gun it, they can beat the train and lose the cops. But the car isn't fast enough. The train hits them head on. Out at sea, around the same time, a group of fishermen are hauling in their nets. Something strange is tangled inside. When they pull it up, they find what looks like a human body, seemingly dead for centuries. Confused but cautious, the sailors decide to bring it to the authorities. The next morning, when they reach the port and go to check on it, they discover the body is alive. It's Rita, the ancient villain who sank to the bottom of the ocean all those years ago, and she wastes no time. She kills the entire crew. Back on land, Jason, Billy, and Kimberly each wake up in their own beds. Not a scratch on them. They can't figure out how they survived that train crash, and the coins, they still have them. So it was no dream. The next day at school, Cole comes back for Billy. He tries to twist his arm, but it doesn't budge. He slams his own head into Billy's and knocks himself out. Just like that, Billy's got a reputation. But Kimberly and Jason pull him aside. The 3 of them compare their coins, red, blue, and pink, each glowing with a distinct power. Jason says these things are doing something to us. They need answers. The 3 of them head back to the mine, where they find Zach and Trini waiting. Those 2 have the black and yellow coins. All 5 of them now have powers. They show off by scaling the rocky cliffs like it's nothing. When they reach the top, Zach decides to test himself and leaps across a deep chasm to the next peak. Jason, Kimberly, and Trini follow. Then, it's Billy's turn. He misjudges the jump and ends up dangling from the edge. Everyone's heart stops, but moments later, they hear his voice calling up from below, telling them it's safe to jump. They all leap and they land in an underground river inside a massive cave. Billy spots a passage leading deeper into the cave. The 5 of them swim through and emerge on the other side. What they find stops them cold. A spaceship, hidden for thousands of years. The structure is completely sealed shut, but Jason notices his coin starts to glow the moment he steps close. He holds it up to the hull, and a door slides open. They look at each other. They're going in. Inside, Trini suddenly finds herself grabbed by a mechanical arm. Zack tries to help but gets taken down in seconds by a small android. The robot introduces itself as Alpha 5. When it sees all 5 coins together, it practically lights up with excitement and says, "We've been waiting for new warriors for a very long time." The 5 of them have no idea what's happening, but Alpha 5 asks them to step onto a platform up ahead because some questions are bigger than he can answer alone. They comply. The moment they step up, the ship hums to life. A panel opens before them, revealing a face, a human-like face. Alpha 5 introduces them to Zordon, their leader from millions of years ago, one of the original guardians of the world. A fragment of Zordon's consciousness, preserved through Alpha 5's technology, now serves as the mind of the ship. Zordon is surprised, even unsettled, that the coins chose 5 teenagers. But time is not a luxury they have. He tells them the world is in danger and he needs their help. He explains the Zeo Crystal, a source of life-giving energy, buried somewhere near this very town. The mission of the Power Rangers is simple. Do not let it fall into the wrong hands. Because in the wrong hands, it has the power to destroy the entire world. To drive the point home, Zordon pulls all 5 of them into a hypnotic vision. They watch their city reduced to rubble, and they know who did it. Rita. The vision lifts. Zordon tells them she's coming back, and only the Rangers can stop her. But first, they need to learn to morph, to unlock the armor living inside their coins. And that transformation can only happen when they've truly accepted their powers. After all of this, Trini decides she's heard enough. She walks out. Zack, Billy, and Kimberly follow. Jason starts to leave too, but Zordon stops him. He tells him that I was the Red Ranger before you. Now you need to lead this team and save this world before it's too late. Those words hit Jason somewhere deep. He walks outside. The others are waiting for him. Kimberly asks, "Do you actually believe any of this?" Jason admits he isn't sure, but he makes a decision. He tells them he'll be at the top of the mountain tomorrow morning. Anyone who wants to figure this out can meet him there. The next morning, Jason arrives and finds them all already waiting. They head back to the ship together. Zordon explains that to morph, they need to activate the armor inside their coins. But a Ranger can only transform when they've truly bonded with their power. To help them connect, he asks the 5 of them to stand together on a circular platform called the Morphin Grid, where their minds and bodies can sync. They try, but they can't link to each other, and the system shuts down. Zordon tells Alpha 5 to take them to the training arena. No armor, just them. Alpha 5 activates a simulation that produces holographic soldiers modeled after Rita's stone warriors. Zack takes one look at them and thinks they're just holograms. He charges in first. He quickly realizes these holograms hit back. One strike and he's on the ground. Alpha 5 tells all 5 of them plainly, "You have a 1% chance of surviving Rita right now." Training starts immediately. They struggle. Despite their new strength, the holographic soldiers beat them repeatedly. So Alpha 5 breaks down a specific technique. Dodge the enemy's attack, get behind them, and take them down from the rear. They drill it again and again. The fighting improves, but none of them can morph. To give them a boost, Alpha 5 takes them deeper into the ship and shows them the Zords. Massive, prehistoric machines built in the shape of ancient creatures. These are your rides, but you can only control them after you morph, because the Zords respond only to an armored ranger. After the tour, Alpha 5 tells them to keep training, but Zack sneaks off and decides to test his Zord on his own. It goes exactly as expected. He can't control it. The machine goes rogue and tears down the mountainside. After a desperate struggle, Zack manages to get it back to the ship. But on the way, the Zord nearly crushes his friends. No one is hurt, but Jason is furious with Zack. He confronts him. Zack refuses to listen, and suddenly the 2 of them are going at it right in front of everyone. Billy steps between them. He raises his hands and tells them to stop. And in that moment, his armor materializes. Everyone freezes. They ask how he did it. Billy honestly has no idea. A moment later, the armor fades. Zordon's voice comes through, urging Billy to morph again. Billy tries. He can't. Zordon, visibly disappointed, shuts down training for the day. He tells them flatly, "Go home. You're not ready to be Power Rangers." The team leaves, defeated. But Jason goes back inside to speak with Zordon. That's when he overhears Zordon tell Alpha 5 that the kids need to activate the Morphin Grid. Otherwise, he will never be able to return to his physical body. Jason confronts him. He accuses Zordon of using them just to get his own body back. Zordon tries to explain, but Jason says, "I believe in my team, and will fight with or without you." He walks out. Outside, the others are waiting. Zack suggests they go camping in the mountains tonight. Just the 5 of them. Meanwhile, Rita is moving through the shipyard, draining the life force from people around her. With enough energy restored, she breaks into a jewelry store and steals every ounce of gold she can find. She uses it to repair her staff. A police officer draws his weapon and orders her to surrender. She declines. He fires. She heals in seconds. She levels the place and disappears into the night with the rest of the gold. Up in the mountains, the 5 rangers sit around a campfire. Zack says, maybe we can't morph because we don't really know each other. A week ago, they were strangers. Tonight, let's change that. He opens up first. He lives with his mother, who is gravely ill. He's terrified of losing her. Then Billy speaks. He came to the mountain that day because it was his father's favorite place. His father died years ago. One by one, the others share their stories too, and they realize, broken in different ways, they aren't so different after all. Later that night, Trini is back home in her room when Rita steps out of the shadows and attacks her. Without her armor, Trini can't do much, but Rita doesn't kill her. Instead, she makes her an offer. Betray your team. Give me the Zeo crystal, and I'll let you live. Somewhere nearby, Kimberly finds Jason sitting alone. She opens up to him. She tells him that maybe she's the reason none of them can morph. She once shared a private photo of a girl out of jealousy. The guilt has never left her. She doesn't feel worthy of any of this. Jason listens. Then he tells her, we can't carry the weight of one mistake forever. You can make it right. You have a chance now to use what you have to protect people. That's when Trini's message comes through. The 5 of them meet at the school courtyard. Trini tells them everything. Rita came to her. She knows where to find them. Jason looks at his team and says, I'm going to face Rita. Armor or not. One by one, each of them says the same. Trini tells them Rita is hiding at the old shipyard. They show up armed with iron rods and chains. Inside, they find a man tied to a chair. Just an ordinary sailor that Rita used as bait. And then Rita appears, staff in hand. They fight together, but Rita dismantles all 5 of them one by one and seals them inside a ship. She demands to know where the Zeo crystal is. Jason tells her they don't know. Rita turns her power on Zack, torturing him. Billy shouts for her to stop. Then, thinking fast, Billy lies. He tells her he found a map inside the ship and used it to calculate the crystal's location. It's buried beneath a donut shop in the middle of town. The moment she has the location, Rita disappears. On her way out, she turns her magic on Billy. He's blasted off and hits the water below. As the others free themselves, Jason and the team haul Billy out. Kimberly checks him. No pulse, no breath. Billy is gone. Jason is devastated. He blames himself. He tells the others, take him to the ship. Maybe Zordon can do something. At the ship, they tell Zordon what happened. Zordon shakes his head. There's nothing that can be done. Jason breaks. He tells Zordon, this is on me. I pushed them before they were ready. Kimberly steps in and says, we all made that choice. None of us would take it back. If she could give anything to bring Billy back, she would. The others say the same. And in that moment, the Morphin network sparks to life. A portal begins to open. Zordon's body can finally return. But Zordon doesn't take it for himself. He reverses the ship's systems and channels all of that power into Billy. Billy's eyes open. The team erupts. Jason thanks Zordon. And now, for the first time, they are truly one. Jason looks at his team and says, it's time to morph. They align their minds, their hearts, and their bodies. And this time, it works. They become the Power Rangers. There's no time to celebrate. Rita has gathered all the gold she stole and used it to summon a colossal monster called Goldar. She also sends her stone warriors to tear apart Zordon's ship. Jason and the team step through the portal and land on the mountain. Rita's army is waiting. Jason draws his sword and charges. The battle begins, but the enemy is too many. Zack dives into the cave and comes back riding his Zord. The Black Ranger's machine tears through the stone soldiers and clears the field. But the fight isn't over. Goldar and Rita are heading for the city. Jason orders everyone to call their Zords. Now armored and connected, all 5 are ready. In the city, the Rangers split up, directing civilians to safety. In the chaos, Jason spots his father Sam wandering in the street, searching for him. Goldar's attack flips Sam's car. Jason drops out of his Zord, fights through the rubble, and pulls his father out. He gets him to safety. Sam looks up at the armored warrior and says, I know you, don't I? But Jason is already gone, back inside his Zord. The Rangers hit Goldar with everything they have. He barely flinches. Then the Pink Ranger takes a risk. She uses her Zord to launch Billy, the Blue Ranger, straight at Rita. As he falls, Billy activates his Zord system and unleashes a massive energy wave. Goldar and Rita are knocked to the ground. The moment Rita loses consciousness, every stone soldier crumbles. They think it's over. Then Goldar rises. He heals Rita, and with a single punch into the earth, he cracks open the ground beneath the donut shop. The Zeo crystal glows below. Rita reaches for it. The Rangers plant themselves at the edge of the crater and fire everything they have. Goldar shoves back, crushing their Zords toward the pit. They pour everything into one final strike, and they all fall in. Rita and Goldar are about to take the crystal, and then something massive moves in the darkness. The 5 Zords lock together, piece by piece, forming a single towering machine. The Blue Ranger gives it a name, Megazord. Rita doesn't blink. She fuses herself with Goldar's body, growing even more powerful. The Megazord swings, hammers, kicks. Goldar won't go down. Then the Red Ranger calls back to what Alpha 5 taught them. Evade. Get behind the enemy. Take them down. The Megazord dodges Goldar's attack, grabs him from behind, and slams him into the earth with full force. Dual swords emerge from the Megazord, and they come down hard. Goldar begins to crack apart. Rita is weakened. She suddenly shifts to begging. The Red Ranger tells her, "Give us the green coin, surrender, and we'll let you live." Rita refuses, so Jason winds up, and the Megazord delivers one clean, thunderous slap, exactly like the one Jason gave Cole back at school. Rita goes flying, launched like a rocket into the darkness of outer space. Her body freezes, and she drifts through the void, trapped there for who knows how long. The battle is over. The Power Rangers have saved their city, the world. People flood the streets to thank the warriors who protected them, though no one knows who they really are. Days pass. Life returns to normal. Jason goes back to the ship one last time and leaves his sword behind. He makes a promise. If this world ever needs him again, he will come back. Then he heads to school, back to detention, but this time he walks in with his friends right beside him. And if you enjoyed this ride, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.